Danziger inside of Facebook Horizon, and today we're going to make Starry Night. I'm going to pop into builder mode and demonstrate how to create in Facebook Horizon while creating Starry Night. I'm about to press on my builder tab, and here I am now in builder mode. By pressing on the inside of my controllers, I'm able to scale and rotate the world accordingly. When I open my control panel on my Oculus button, a menu appears with shapes, gizmos, sounds, and a bottom of array showing the shapes, paint tools, world settings, and more. Today, we'll be creating Starry Night and including some interactive and simple scripting within our demonstration. I'm going to start by selecting a shape and grabbing it out of the menu. And while selected, point node, access nodes appear, and I'm able to transform my shape. And I'm going to set it down as a ground for our Starry Night to begin to transform. Popping it into snap grid so I have a level horizon, and readjusting my spawn point by bringing it back up to the top. And you can see I have a wonderful, easy, straight horizon, and let's paint it blue. Our material types are solid, plastic, metal, and glow. And we'll start with a nice blue surface for Starry Night. Let's change our environment, selecting gizmos, and selecting environment, and we will turn it into twilight. Because it was just before dawn on April 19th, about 4 a.m., when Vincent van Gogh painted Starry Night. Returning to our simple shapes, we're going to again paint, but this time we're going to use each one of these material types in creating our environment. So here's some plastic, mountains, some foothills, and we're able to change these material types. We can make one glow, changing the intensity, and we're able to change the intensity again with our metals. So here we have our town, and is the beginning of a perfect setting for Starry Night. In the foreground of the painting, a cypress tree is presented to the viewers. And so let's quickly build our cypress tree. And while we do, we're going to group objects and we're going to animate our cypress to gently sway in the night's breeze. So with this awesome shape, we're going to begin to create a cluster of shapes. That can be our tree. Here we are. And actually there's an array tool, and I could use that to spiral these shapes. Oops. And a delete. We're able to stretch them any way we wish. Okay, so painting them, some purple, some solid purple, greens, change your greens. Perfect. Using the selection tool, I'm going to enlarge my cursor and select all the objects and group them together. From here, I'm able to duplicate or animate. So let's animate our tree so it has just a little give and breath. So we're going to hit record, move our tree a little bit, and stop. Loop it continually and play it on start. Let's slow down our speed. And place it in the foreground. Changing our spawn point to have the best vantage point here. And I'm seeing the tree rise a little. There we go. So there we are. A nice cypress kind of blowing in the night wind. And we know it's windy, so let's create a little wind. The springtime minstrel would come off of the Alpine mountains in southern France, and we will depict that in our work. So we've used some shapes here. Let's add a few more before we do our sky. There was a church. That broke the horizon. And a couple of little houses in the village. We'll add a few of those. And we know that he once lived in a yellow house, so let's make one of them yellow. Yeah. Van Gogh wrote his brother that he was able to see a town that looked like Van Goghian from his windows at his asylum. Now we're going to create our night sky, and we're going to play with text and paint with it. First, let's create a moon. Van Gogh painted a crescent moon, but it would have been gibbous on April 30th. So let's create our moon. Oops. And for fun, we can back it with a little glow. Yeah, that's a nice moon. So there's a big moon, and triangulating it, we have Venus, which we can also use a text gizmo. And then the constellation Aries. Van Gogh wrote his sister that the stars were like citron yellow and blue and shades of periwinkle, that it was obvious that he could not just put white dots on a blue canvas and call it a nighttime sky. At that time, Van Gogh also painted other nocturnes, including Starry Night on the Rhone and Street Cafe. Let's continue to play with text gizmos a little bit more, because it's just really fun to push some new limits and just create things in a new way each time. This is the parenthesis, and it's just one of my favorite shapes or gizmos to create within Horizon. Another favorite, excuse me, is this awesome at sign. It always looks like swirl from the sky, and it can be played with in such fun ways. And we'll return to the shape. And add some twilight over our mountains. And also just overhead in the sky. Now let's select our shape and create our spiral nebula. People often attribute the spiral in the sky and Starry Night to Van Gogh's turbulent emotional state, or refer to him as a mad genius. But evidence shows that Van Gogh, although he had never met him, was really into reading James Flattrion's books and articles on spiral nebula. And he was just a super informed scientific thinker and reader. He felt a connection when he painted Starry Night with the cosmos and the world around him. And that's evident in the way he wrote about his paintings and the stars. Actually, I'm not looking at it right now, the original work. I'm just kind of working and remembering what it looks like. It's so iconic. It's really part of all of us. And maybe that's why people flock to see it in at the Museum of Modern Art, is because we've all looked up at the sky and wondered what life could be like, and dreamt about making wishes upon stars and connected with humans throughout the world as we gaze upon a starry night. So now let's make something interactive, now that we have our starry night. I'm going to create a star and a very simple script. When I enter the script or an area, a trigger will be a trigger will change the star color. Okay, so we're going to do that. First, let's create a star. And we'll paint it blue. Oops. And we need a trigger and a script. When the trigger is entered by player, we can show object or hide object, we can paint object, we can enable object. Let's paint our object. And we're going to paint our object a different color. How about yellow? No. Blue. And we know it's this color right here. So we're able to put that right into our menu. 0.24, 0.31, 0.83, return, and let's create a variable that that was my alarm letting me know that I just have 2 more minutes, and that's okay. We have plenty of time to do this in 2 minutes. So our variable is blue star. Attach our script. And our star. Script 1. Here we're referencing the star to our trigger. Let's set our star right here. And our trigger. And let's make a quick little wheat field. And when we enter into the wheat field, our star will turn blue. Let's see. Oop! Ta-da! It worked. Now, if we had a little bit more time, and if I learned how to speed up this whole presentation a little bit more, then I could do more interactive things in 20 minutes. And that's what I want to do. I want to do a whole bunch of things. I want to make it sparkle. I want to make it appear and then disappear, and a few other things. And so over the course of this next week, I'm going to be practicing Starry Night a lot so that I can do this really fast and get to the fun scripties. And maybe even a wearable. Maybe I can make an ear and attach it, or a paintbrush that will paint the stars. So continue to watch all week long as I get better and better and better at this, so that in a week I'm amazing at creating Starry Night Live. Thank you.